Uzumaki is finally premiered just in time for spooky season. And while I'm by no means a horror expert, I thought I would share some horror manga that I found and enjoyed so far. So this video is for all you horror enthusiasts, or for those of you trying to impress that goth girl you met on Discord. I'm sure she'll like at least one of these. I tried to give the list a little bit of variety because there's different kinds of horror, from body horror to kind of creepy to more psychological kind of stuff. I worked pretty hard on this list, so I hope you can find the manga you love in it. And you like and subscribe.
For the love of God! For the love of God! Please!
With introductions out of the way, first up on our list is Journey to the End of the World. Journey to the End of the World has a very simple art style. It often feels like a children's book, but that simplicity makes it worse when you really think about it and continue to read it. One thing I've always found frightening in movies and TV shows is when they make a murderer have a childlike innocence to them. I'm not sure why I find that so frightening. I think there's just something inherently overwhelming and scary about someone who is inflicting this like insane amount of pain on you but doesn't understand that they are, or why it's like hurting you in some way. They're not like a psychopath where like they're doing it because they want to. They just don't understand, and I think that hurts more in some ways. One of the scariest things about the art style is that there's a hollowness in the main character's eyes, like a service worker 20 minutes into their shift. It's not like other manga that are outwardly horrifying. It does a good job of building tension and making you wonder what's going on. Then as soon as you're comfortable, it gets creepy again. I don't really understand what's happening enough to really explain to you, but maybe that's a good thing so I don't ruin it. It's only 12 chapters, so you should definitely give this a try. Seas of Anxiety is fairly short. Each chapter is only a few pages, and it kind of reminds me of those 5-word horror stories people would do on the internet, kind of like this. On date, farted, gambled, lost.
Huh?
Horrifying, I know. Here's a sequel. She smelled it and smiled. Anyway, I'm getting off track. This is really good. The stories never go in a direction you think they will, and even though you know there's going to be some twists, every story still caught me off guard. The art and aesthetics in Starving Anonymous aren't out really scary at first, but the more you read, the more messed up it becomes. It's about a group of people trying to escape from a slaughterhouse for human beings. I had to make sure I wasn't reading like PETA propaganda because it's so messed up. People are forced to breed with one another, forcibly fat, and those not fit to be fat and are used as meat. I generally considered going vegan while I was reading this, then I remembered how annoying vegans on the internet are and decided against it. This manga is super scary, but not in a traditional unexpected twist kind of way, but more of how psychological and depraved the more time goes on and the more we learn about what's happening inside the facility. It's kind of like learning how the sausage is made and finding out it's full of human meat. Dragon Head doesn't feel much like a horror manga. It kind of reminds me of a movie where something happens early on, then slowly builds on that event. The main character, whose name I'll probably butcher, Teru, is on a train with his classmates when suddenly everyone dies. Teru is now surrounded by dead bodies on a train and buried alive in a tunnel. So it's definitely scary, but in the same way drowning is scary. Horrifying, but only from a distance when you're just reading about it. Hideout is scary as hell. This manga is so damn scary that I went out and got a pack just to finish. And I don't mean of cigarettes, I mean diapers. I peed myself twice. I'd be shocked if this doesn't have some sort of movie adaptation. Art style is next level, and it builds this tense aura and suspense with just the first page. It genuinely feels like I'm watching a movie. It's only 9 chapters, so I will do my best to describe the plot with no spoilers, but Seiichi, a writer, goes on vacation with his wife to try and repair their failing marriage and start over after the death of their son. Seiichi decides that it would be better to start over alone and kill his wife, but he wasn't alone in that force. I'm going to be completely transparent with you. I don't always finish the manga or anime I mention in these videos. I very often will read like the first chapter or first like 5 to 10 chapters, get a feel for it, whether I like it or not, and then give a review. But as soon as I started Hideout, I binged it. It's only 9 chapters, and this is genuinely, and I cannot stress this enough, the best manga out of this list. If you read nothing else out of this 6 manga on this list, read this one please. It is so good. And the final manga on this list is Goth. Goth is about 2 high school students who bond over being super into death and murder, so much so that they often solve murders just to fuel their morbid curiosity. It's only 5 chapters, so I really can't go into more detail about the story without spoilers. I think you should read this one though. I honestly wish it was longer because it feels a little rushed sometimes, but it is genuinely really good. I could see this being like a mini TV series.